Welcome back to the channel. My name is Eric, and today I thought we'd talk about obesity and the huge rise in child obesity. And it's alarming because we all know that if you become really heavy, then you're susceptible to diabetes, heart attack, uh, the list goes on. But it's just plain not healthy for kids. You know, I can see being a little chubby, but that's not what I'm seeing. And what I'm seeing is a result of kids not getting outside, not exercising, sitting on their phones, their laptops, their iPads, and they're not physically moving. So their intake would have to be a lot less, which is not the case. Most often the case is they're snacking while they're doing these things on their computers or technology devices. So how can we as an adult and as a parent and as a grandparent, as what have you, see, when I was growing up, if you went to your grandparents, you got spoiled. You got to have pudding, you got to have chocolate bars, ice cream, but not to home. And now what you're seeing is they're getting it both places. And you're not doing that child, you're doing the child a disservice by allowing it to continue. Because if you watched any of my other videos, I focused on what a parent's job is. And that is your sole job in life, if you decide to become a parent, is to be a parent, is to do what you can to have a good, healthy environment for the child. Teach it right from wrong, show it love. But when it comes, that's the problem. When it comes to love, a lot of people, they think that, especially if you're Italian family, but I don't see very many heavy Italians, but they show their love in food, and that was the way my grandmother was. See, I was raised because my parents had passed away by the time I was 13, but at 12 I moved in with my grandparents. And my grandmother, that's how she showed love, was a chocolate pie or an apple pie or rhubarb, what have you. She loved to bake. And she did a great job at both roles of being, a grandmother, and also having to step in for my mom. And I was chubby when I was in school. I weighed around 200 pounds by the time I was in the 7th grade. And I got picked on terrible for my weight. Fat-assed, what have you. So, I don't want you to think that who's this asshole that trying to tell us what to do when he probably has never had these problems before. Yeah, I have. And that was one of the first things. I couldn't take the weight off no matter what I did. I played all the sports. But it wasn't the exercise that was killing me for weight. It was my grandmother. And she didn't have any portion size. Whatever you want to eat. And, I was feeling low and everything else, and I stuck to food. That was my comfort level, was eating food. That's why I couldn't keep the weight off. So you can exercise all you want, but if you don't reduce the intake or what kind of food you are intaking, then you're not going to succeed at it. Now, I'm not telling you got to go out there and eat green leaves and, broccoli every meal. Absolutely not. I'm saying that you need to Stay away from the fast foods. A home cooked meal is way better, as far as I'm concerned, than a lot of this fast food. Stay away from the sodas. Stay away from the artificial sweeteners that are in all this crap. Because it's not real sugar. It's, you know, sugar cane mostly comes from Hawaii. But they found that using this other type of substitute worked as well, and it was cheaper to produce. But the problem they didn't want to tell you about is that it's made up so that it attaches to, and it tacks on weight. Terrible. So a lot of your snack foods, your instant meals throw them in the microwave, that's all this other style syrup. It's not sugar. It's not good for you. And these big manufacturers will not tell you that because they're making money on it, because they're not paying the full cost of what it is for real cane sugar in their foods. I'm not saying that like some of these that have, maple syrup in theirs, that's not bad for you. Maple syrup is good for you, and it's good for the producers. It's a good, healthy food. So you got to do it in steps. You can't say, well, I want to lose 200 pounds in a week. It's not possible. Or you want to see the kids lose some weight. How do we approach it? Well, to me, it seems pretty simple. See, you can try all these diet things, all these, dinners sent to your house and bullshit. They're all making money on you. And you're not dropping any weight, are you? Because you've tried them all. Low carb, high carb. So try this. For the first week, the biggest thing, and to this day, it's something that is not healthy for me, is I eat one time a day. And that's usually around 5:30, 6 o'clock, and I go to bed at 8. The worst thing you can do is have a full stomach when you go to bed, right? Because that's where you're going to start putting the weight on. Whereas if you eat a healthy breakfast, some cereal, oatmeal, put a little bit of honey on it, put a little bit of maple syrup on it, don't use sugar, and then a light lunch, whether it be a bologna sandwich, ham sandwich, tuna fish sandwich. And then when you get to dinner time, your body's not starving saying, I need a lot of food, right? So I would recommend that you eat 3 meals a day, 3 healthy meals a day, proportion-wise. And I'm not telling you to go look up calories. Not yet. We don't need to play that game. Let's start with a healthy breakfast, healthy lunch, and a healthy dinner. And then from dinner time on, no snacks. No popcorn, no ice cream, but stop at dinner time. And for most of us, it's between 5 and 6 at night. Now, if you find yourself eating dinner like 8, 9 o'clock, and then you're going to bed directly after it, you're kind of self-defeating yourself. And now I understand why you can't get rid of your weight. Alright, so what should we be eating each meal? How do we know if it's good for us or not? You know if it's good for you or not. And you know what's good for your kids. Don't let all these infomercials on cereals and everything else dictate what you put in the house for the kids. Cream of wheat is what I got brought up on. Oatmeal is what I got brought up on. Shredded wheats. And breakfast, don't rule out eggs, poached eggs, fried eggs, however you want it. And then for lunch, look at, whole wheat bread with tuna fish, bologna, ham, turkey, chicken, whatever you like for that. And then dinner time, I would look at having a cooked meal, whether it be like a hamburger and fries. Uh, I love pasta, and I cook for three. See, my wife eats at a different time than I do. She eats earlier, and I cook a dinner for me and my two German shepherds. So pasta is our big night because the girls know that they're going to get extra pasta for their meal. But pasta is not bad for you. It's just the amount that you. It's like saying, well, cheeseburgers aren't bad for you, but if you eat two or three of them, come on. Or pasta, if you're using the serving platter as your plate, then you know something's wrong. But just try that. Don't try counting calories. Forget the whole idea of I gotta lose weight, and just do the three meals healthy. And you know what I'm talking about when I say healthy. I'm not saying comfort foods. I'm saying, you know, if you have lunch, breakfast, lunch, and dinner, and even if you had, you know, a small piece of pie or an ice cream or something like that right directly after dinner so that your body has a time to build it in before it gets to be dinner or bedtime, good. And one other thing a little trick that I found was the dogs and I, we loved kosher dill pickles. And we have them every night. I have it usually about 3 hours before I have dinner. And there's a study out saying now, which wasn't why I eat pickles, is that it helps it takes it so that you get full faster when it comes dinner time with the pickle juice. And that's where some fly-by-nights are selling vinegar and juice or pickle juice and stuff like that is a weight loss. It's just eat a kosher dill pickle every night, a couple hours before you have dinner, and see what that does for you. Alright, so we got to get rid of this child obesity, and even us adults that put on a lot of weight. You're not a bad person, and I know you can do it. And if you have any questions or comments, put them in the comment section. If you have gone from being overweight to losing pounds and becoming more healthy, you guys post too. I don't want any put downs, and I don't want any lame asinine jokes about anybody. That's not going to fly with me. I'll delete that post. What we want is a positive flow going forward. Alright, I hope this has helped you a little bit, and with that, I'll see you in the next video. Thanks so much for watching.